Hi everyone, and welcome to Module 1, and I should say welcome to the course. Each week I'll be doing an instructor guidance video, and it'll really help you to understand what the expectations are for each week. And I think it'll give you a good guidance on what I'm looking for, and it'll really help you focus your efforts on where I'm grading your work and where my focus should be. So for this week, let me go through some of the things that we're looking at and where you should extend your effort in the course. There's a lot of announcements here you can see. Right here I posted an announcement of who is your instructor. Okay, so that's me, and I gave you a Prezi video, and I gave you a narration from that. I also posted a little bio of me as well. We have some things on APA formatting, have the Module 1 to-do list, have the late work policy and what the days of the week are as well. Over here are some of your guidelines. So if you click on academic guidelines, you'll notice that you have the participation guideline, attendance policy, modules, days of the week, and grading. So let's click on, let me see which one I need. Now we'll do that one a little bit later on, but first one is like grading. So in the course, here's the grading scale. And this is what you should be focused on. It'll also give you the late work policy as well, and how you'll be graded based on the late work policy. So those are some things you want to review, and you also want to answer right here, acknowledgement. So make sure that you acknowledge that you've read those various things as well. So let's go to Module 1 right here and look at what we're focusing on in Module 1. When we look at Module 1, we're going to be looking at the role of economics and how economics plays in the decisions that we have to make. You'll notice that economics is concerned about how consumers make decisions in markets. And all of us have to make decisions in markets, but we're always going to be facing a lot of challenges. And when we look at economics, you'll notice that we have to understand how to make those challenges. And it creates a lot of challenges in markets. One important topic that I think you'll find interesting is the role of incentives. Many consumers have to respond to incentives. Another one could be the role of opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is a very important concept as well. And opportunity cost is looking at what you have to give up to get. So we have a lot of different things that we're going to focus on. So what I want you to do is make sure to go through all of these pages and really focus on what we're going to be looking at this week. You'll notice that one of the most important concepts this week is going to be looking at the role of demand and supply. Now, demand is dealing with buyers, whereas supply is dealing with sellers. So one of the most important concepts that we can deal with this week is looking at how markets determine prices in our economy. And the determination of prices is very important in our economy. So now, the assignment 1, here is your introduction right here. So this is where you'll post your introduction. Assignment 2 is the discussion. And this discussion board is going to be about capitalism. And what we're looking at is these two paragraphs. So in a command or planned economy, you'll notice that the government makes decisions on regulation, and we look at the U.S. economy and how is it different than the command economy. So a command economy is where governments make decisions, whereas we look at the U.S. where governments regulate and oversee markets. Now, how can the U.S. really be called a true free market economy? And that's not really the case. A free market economy is an economy where there is no government intervention. If you look at a flea market, that would be an example of a free market economy. No government intervention in the market. So what you want to do in this part of the question is explain how the role of the government differs between a command, a free market, and capitalistic system. Command economy, government decides what to produce. Market economy, government has no decision in what's produced. And in a and in the capitalistic society, like what we have right now, the government oversees what's occurring. Now, how are you being graded in your work? So now, by Saturday, post your initial response to the discussion area. By Saturday. And then have all of your work completed by Wednesday night. So that's going to be very important. So now, if you can just do a minimum of that, let me see if you can do a minimum of having your first post by Saturday and posting 2 peer responses. Now, a peer response can be to any of the questions I ask. So, for example here, I have a question right here about economics. And right here, if you answer this question, this will count as a peer response. A peer response should be at least 1 paragraph in length. So, first post by Saturday, 2 peer responses, you get full 16 points. Writing, craftsmanship. Do you not use text lingo? Do you use proper spelling, grammar, capitalization? If you get that, you get the full 8 points. So right now, that's an easy 24 points to earn right in the course. Now, your content development and use of APA formatting, that is your initial post. So every discussion board post will require an initial post in terms of APA formatted in-text citation and reference to support your work. So make sure to focus on that. And if you want to look at the rubric right here, you can look at that. But I'm looking for an in-text citation and reference in APA formatting. And if you can do that, you will do very well. Let's go to assignment 3 now. In assignment 3, here is a market. And you have quantity supplied, quantity demanded, and the price. You notice where they're equal is where we should be producing at right here, where they're equal. Okay? That is the equilibrium price and output. So what you're looking at are these questions right here. Explain the law of demand and supply and demand in the graph. So if we go back here, we notice law of supply is when the price increases, we want to supply more. So firms want to supply more at higher prices rather than at lower prices. However, when the price is really low, people want to buy more at lower prices than at higher prices. The quantity demanded deals with buyers. That is an inverse relationship or negative, where quantity supplied is a positive or direct. Question 2, describe the equilibrium price and quantity. Right here it is. Equilibrium price and quantity is where does quantity demanded equal quantity supplied at $10. Assume the government imposes a price floor of $12. So let's see what happens. At $12 right here, now we notice there is 8,500 units on the shelf. Consumers only want 7,000 units. So there's going to be a surplus at $12. There's going to be a surplus of 1,500 units. Now assume that there's a price ceiling. It means the price can never go above $6. So there's 12,000 people that want it, only 6,000 units available. So you want to figure out is that a surplus or shortage. And on the last question, we want to look at if the price of the product drops by $60 or 50%. How will this impact the demand? And if you look at a demand curve, you could just tell me, does it increase or decrease? You could really do that. Here's how you're being graded right here as well. If you would like, you can submit your work to me by email, and I can pre-grade your work as well. But I look forward to your effort in your journey in the course, and please reach out to me with any questions that you might have.